Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new edition of Lions Pride. Danny Daniels, along with a very familiar face here on campus at EC, Athletic Director Nate Mormon, and just joined Conference Carolina's last year, coach, and really had to be maybe not surprised, but pleased with the effort.
Yeah, we were most certainly pleased. And we kind of joke around. We had 5 years to prepare for it, but we were very pleased with our first year. I think we came out and proved what we're capable of, and our coaches proved what kind of programs we're going to be in the future in our conference. And we have some other programs that are up and coming, and they're making their way, and we're looking forward to this year.
How many conference championships?
So we won 5 conference championships. We won women's volleyball, women's swimming, men and women's basketball, and women's tennis.
That's pretty strong. Talk about you got what 17 sports now. That is big for a college of 900.
It is. We've got 17 sports. Really, it's 32 teams. So we have 589 of our students this year are athletes. So we have a very large athletic department.
And everybody qualifies for scholarships and all these.
Everybody's eligible for scholarships. All of our programs are funded at the varsity scholarship level.
What are you looking forward to this coming athletic season?
I'm really looking forward to seeing our spring sports. I mean, some of our other teams have a unique challenge in trying to repeat as conference champions, and I don't. That's not a situation a lot of our coaches have been in several years when we were absent a postseason at the NCAA. So looking forward to seeing how those do. And I'm really looking forward to seeing our spring sports. A lot of the spring sports in our conference are pretty tough. The top teams are really, really good, nationally recognized. It's a big ladder to climb. Our coaches have been working hard to try to climb that ladder, and anxious to see what they do this spring.
What's been the biggest challenge for you?
Well, the biggest challenge prior to this year was getting through the membership to the NCAA Division II. That was a big challenge. I think probably from an administrative standpoint is trying to keep a positive culture and a positive momentum, create a positive experience for everybody involved during that process was really hard. But we were intentional about it. We focused on it, and I think we saw reap some of the benefits of that last year with our success, and hopefully continue to do so moving forward.
I probably asked you this before, but when you hire coaches, what are you looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for someone that can, develop a strong culture that knows the value and importance of relationships. We often feel like we can find hundreds of coaches that know the X's and O's, they know how to coach. A lot of coaches know everything they need to know about strength and conditioning. That stuff's pretty easy, but it's really the coach that can get out here and show us how they want to build relationships in a powerful culture that focus on the student athlete experience overall, have a clear vision, know how to articulate that. Those are the coaches.
All right, with 17 sports, just add bass fishing. Do you have trouble finding competition?
No, not really. It's actually, we were surprised. We had looked at adding bass fishing about 5 years ago, after my first year of here at Amina. And at that time, the market, we couldn't get a really good idea on what the high school participation levels were, what the college participation levels were, how are we going to find competition. And as FLW and Bass and all that have taken off at the collegiate level, you've seen that trickle down into the high school level and even the middle school level. So we have local middle schools that have Bass programs. So when we reviewed it this year, it really was a no-brainer for a school like Amina. And with Lake Hartwell, Lake Lanier, some of the lakes around here, there's premier water around here that you see a lot of these tournaments make their way to. In the southeast, it's a bass fishing haven, so it was a no-brainer. We were super excited to get that added this year.
I know bass fishing is big among the community, but I didn't have any idea how many high schools have it.
It is. It's incredible how many have it. I honestly, until we started doing research, we didn't know really the magnitude of participation at the high school level in bass fishing. We've seen a lot of programs pop up at the collegiate level this year, including us.
Mm-hmm.
But we feel like we got a great coach. We got Pam Wells, and she's just she was an incredible professional angler, and again, to the relational aspect that we look for in our coaches, she just fit the mark. She's a great mission fit for the college, and we couldn't be blessed to have her here. So we're excited about her leadership and the direction she'll take our program. We wanted to have 6 anglers here this year, and we've ended up with 12. And we've already signed some for next year, so we're pretty excited about that.
Any idea of what kind of person Pam looks for as far as bass fishing?
You know, I would say in the sport of bass fishing, you've got a lot of people just for the way that they're raised, the communities in which they're raised in. They have a sort of humble beginnings. They have a hard work ethic. They come from families that often are involved more with agriculture and things like that. They come with the rural area. They have a different manner about them. I would say she's looking for those people that are respectful, that are hardworking, that really love the sport, want to come here to Manual and be part of what we do as an institution.
I'd ask you about the challenges. What do you really enjoy about being AD here?
Really, I think as a leader, I think you have to have an enjoyment for problem solving. And if you're an athletic director with 589 student athletes and 32 teams, you have your share of problems. And I just love the opportunity to solve problems, to interact with student athletes. But at the end of every year, when we see our senior class come through and watching who they've become compared to who they were as freshmen, it's an absolutely incredible feeling. And that's kind of the reward in it. It's something different every day to know that we're doing it for a purpose. That's what I like. We have a great staff in our department. We spend time doing staff activities every couple of weeks. We're intentional about making sure that we have a lot of time to get together and do potlucks and things like that as a staff. We consider ourselves a family. We're not just doing this as a job. We're doing life together, and we're having kids, raising our kids together, going through problems together as a staff. And I think that bond is really what keeps us from having a lot of turnover.
What's your day-to-day routine like?
Oh, it's different every day.
Yeah.
So I'll brush my teeth, and hopefully, right? No, and it's different every day. By the time you get to work, you as an athletic director, you'll be in a meeting about an academic issue, and then over to a website, and then you're in looking at budgets for next year, and you're just constantly, and then a student athlete issue or something that's kind of going on, or a coach needs it, or a personal thing that the coach needs. And you're just moving pretty much all the time, going from one thing to the next. So it's never really the same day over and over again, which is another thing that's good.
I don't guess Conference Carolinas realized that you're going to have 5 conference champions. Any idea which teams are going to be strong this year?
Oh, I don't know that anybody. I think all of our teams that won conference last year are going to be strong, and definitely, baseball's continue to make progress. Softball's continue to make progress. Our lacrosse programs continue to make progress. And if you ask any of our coaches that, I would almost say most of them feel like they're a step forward again this year. We've laid a strong foundation with great athletes they brought in who were really committed to seeing the move through to NCAA Division II. They came out strong. They really set the stage and set the bar high. And I think that our coaches and student athletes this year know that and are pushing to be even better. So I think we're going to have a great year.
I know at the end of winter sports last year, you were leading in the battle for the conference championship as far as overall sports. Mm-hmm. Spring sports didn't have as good a season as everybody else. So maybe concentrating a little bit more on those.
Yeah, we were leading the Hahn Cup, which we were really excited about. We didn't have that expectation coming into the year. And when we went into the spring sport again, there's some programs that are still developing, they're still rebuilding and trying to get the infrastructure they need to be competitive, not just in the year, but for future years. And I wouldn't say that we're necessarily putting any more focus on our spring sports. I think our spring coaches are doing what they need to do to continue to get better. And this year, hopefully, we'll see that continue to pay off, that hard work they're putting in.
What fall sports are you getting ready for?
So we've got cross country's kicked up, and we've got women's volleyball, men and women's soccer. They're all getting cranked up right now. We're really looking forward to seeing them perform. We're anxious to get back out there and start competing again. We can't tell.
All right, Nate, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Great job since you've been here 6 years. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
All right, that'll wrap it up. We'll see you next time here on Lions Pride.